After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time for Mondo Cool Cast.
Twinkbot, the internet's in trouble. Recruit a rapidly approaching middle-aged bald man with attitude.
Alright, that was a sloppy transition. But here we are. It's Mondo Cool Cast. A couple of people have been asking. I've been promising for years, and then one way or another I get sidetracked by this, that, or the other. And don't end up making a new Mondo Cool Cast. But here we are. I promised Death Adder I would do it. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it live. That's probably the laziest way I've ever done a transition. I just played the beginning of the last episode, which is how many years old now? I set this up months ago so that I could do a live program. I thought it might be easier to make stuff if I do it this way. So we got it all set up, I suppose. Let's see what we got here. I think I did one video like this where I just talked about my NeoCities page, which is on my notes. We're going to be talking about that again, just for the people that didn't listen last time, or check it out on my YouTube or whatever, but we're going to be talking about that. I bet somewhere I've got some podcast notes, and, I didn't really do a lot of planning. Today was my son's first day of all-day kindergarten, so I've got a few more hours until I start a new job where I've got some daytime to mess around with stuff. So let me see. I think I had some old show notes hidden somewhere that I did not think of until I started yapping. So let me see if I can find those. I think I know where that might possibly be. I did make some hasty notes about some of the things I know I want to complain about. And, I do feel really bad about not having a Christmas episode the past few years. I, for a while, at least got a Christmas episode here and there, Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here's another thing I forgot to put on the notes. Let's go ahead and add that here. We'll add these to the website later. There's a new version of Morton's List. You can go to mortonslist.com, I believe, and buy the new hardcover version of Morton's List. It's more functional in a lot of ways. They did streamline the game. Part of what makes the original game so cool is it's a big fat book, and along with the 360 quests, it's like a mini encyclopedia about tons of random stuff. And it's actually pretty cool, just like as a coffee table book to flip through and read. And I had watched some interviews they've done in the lead up to the new version, and they used like Compton's 1997 Encyclopedia CD-ROM to pull a lot of that information that they included. But it helps to set the mood. So all of that has been stripped out, and it's one, it's practical. Everyone has a smartphone in their pocket, and you can Google any information you may need. So you really don't need it. But it's also massively reduced the page count. But I think it does take away some of the charm. But as a game, slightly more functional. So, I mean, it's a little more streamlined. They have 20 plus years of playtest experience and knowledge built into the product. There's a picture of me in it, which is cool. And now that we're past a big Juggalo event, I believe they're going to start releasing the expanded rule set for the updated version, and I'm going to be in that too because I won a little bit of a contest. One of the benefits of participating in an incredibly niche hobby, it's a lot easier to win the contest when you're only competing with like 15 other guys. Let's see, I think I'm getting to where some old notes might be in here. I got this random text app that I use on my phone. At work, I set up Samsung Desk, so you can plug, if you have a flagship Samsung product, you can plug it into a laptop dock and connect it to a monitor, full mouse and keyboard. So it's a pretty lightweight setup that I can take to work, and that's how I work on my stuff that I do work on, is that way. But I don't see any podcast notes in here like I thought I had. I do see some other projects that are pretty cool, but nothing I'm going to talk about here. So I do see a bunch of like random notes that I've made with Mondo Cool Cast notes. Here we go. So I do have some things in here. We'll go through these things first. The first thing I got in here, Nintendo very wisely has decided, fuck you, right? They've decided, like, you've been having it too easy too long. So the Switch 2's been released, and this is traditionally when the price of the old hardware is reduced to clear out that old stock and inventory. And I was thinking, maybe this year I'll get each of my kids their own Switch to tear up and destroy, like the little heathens that they are. But, if it's like $150 new, and screw it, get them each, their own little thing that they can screw around with, and make it easier to play multiplayer games, with your own screen and all that stuff. But Nintendo said, you know what? We're raising prices. What? A lot of retailers are like, also, what? This is ridiculous. Why would you do that? That's a bonehead move. So a lot of retailers have reduced the prices. So I don't know. They might not end up getting one of those. So I was excited about Switch 2 for a while until they, started releasing information about it. I'm still kind of reeling in shock about the $10 tech demo, like digital manual for the system. That's boneheaded. That should be free software. But people bought it, man. This kid I work with, he bought it. He let me actually try out a Switch 2. He's pretty cool, man. He's a younger dude, but his dad collects old video games, so he's actually got some rock solid taste, and we talk about video games. He let me try out the Switch 2, and it does feel good in the hands. Just some of the decisions Nintendo's made, like raising prices. I ain't paying, how much is it for that new Donkey Kong game? $80? Is it $80 now, or is it $70 now? I ain't paying that shit. And the biggest what the fuck are you doing is the digital key cards. So it takes the only advantage that digital games have is being downloaded to the system and not needing to switch key cards or switch, carts out. So it's like just all of the horrible things about digital and all the horrible things about physical bundled into a great big wad of fuck you. So, oh yeah, you can sell and trade in your digital games. Isn't that amazing? You can let your brother Biff, borrow your digital key card, and that's great, I guess. But how long are those servers going to be online? I've got games that I've bought decades ago that I haven't gotten around to yet, and I do slowly pick those games up and eventually play them. It's just kind of my style, man, especially now, having a 5 and a 7-year-old, time's at a premium. But I still like to get games when they're readily available, throw them in the game dungeon, and occasionally glance at them. That's nice to do from time to time. But I don't know, it's just retarded. And I guess, like, if the numbers have come out, no one's buying the key cards. A few weeks ago, Nintendo released a poll. I saw it from like a YouTuber that I follow who keeps me updated on things I care about. And basically it's just about, do you buy used games? Do you do this and that? Do people value your opinion about video games? I'm not buying a Switch 2. Yeah, I was excited to because it's backwards compatible. I don't know. I liked my Switch 2. That's where I've spent most of my time playing video games because I can take it to work. I can take it on the crapper. I can, on a long road trip, I can mess with it in the passenger seat when I'm not driving. It's just, it's easy to take on vacation. We, 2 years ago last year? Yeah, I think it was last summer. We went to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I took a Switch, and there's one night where the whole family got together, played Bomberman, and it was awesome. The kids loved it. It's easy to take along, and so I was excited about Switch 2 for a while, and just the price of it, the price hike on the software, third parties being on those little fake key cards, just all of this malarkey. I'm not giving them any money. Sorry, guys. If you're going to force me to go all digital, I'll get a handheld PC like an ROG Ally or Steam Deck or something of that ilk, and you can still play all kinds of software on it if you have the gumption to do so. Not that I would recommend that, but it's definitely an option. And then I also had the idea that so the sales of Switch 2 were okay, but the sales of software is not okay, which I believe is where they make all their money. Was the price hike of the Switch 1 to make Switch 1 less attractive to get people to buy a Switch 2 because it was just such a short-sighted, I don't know, man. That's the kind of thing that a CEO would think up. Some stupid hokum like that. Yeah, man. I have a TikTok. For a while, I kept up a streak where I was releasing one a day, and then I missed a day and have completely abandoned it. But there is a Jerry Terrifying TikTok presence. I just pull a game off the Nintendo shelf, play it with my kids, throw it up there. It's surprisingly easy to edit video on a phone, especially in Dex mode when I got a mouse and keyboard. CapCut works pretty well. I'm sure all of my information is making some Chinese communist very sad in pitying me. So as they examine all my personal information. We started making a TikTok for Dragon Quest, and like the recording on my phone ended up being like 20 minutes, and then my daughter loved it. She was having a great time playing Dragon Warrior 1 on the Nintendo, so we started streaming it. You can check out some of those. She's kind of lost steam on it, but because we're like in a grinding loop right now, but man, she was having a great time for a while. At 7 years old, I would not have been able to get into the game I haven't been able to get in. I wouldn't be able to enjoy it like she has at that age. At 20 years old, I was like, God damn, this is hard archaic. I can't do it. It was later, after I fell in love with Dragon Quest, that like then the interest was there to where I could play it. There's a thing called retro achievements. So you can in your emulator get achievements on NES and like Sega Genesis games. That's kind of neat. Some like Brazilian dude made a piece of hardware that you can plug your physical cartridge in, and it passes through to your Nintendo, and you can unlock the achievements. There's like a beta version of the hardware that just came out a few weeks or months ago. I thought that was kind of neat. I'm not going to mess with that myself, but man, wouldn't that be kind of wild to go through and play Dragon Warrior and rack up some achievements? That was kind of neat. There was going to be there is. All right, let me stop. So originally there was going to be a Bomberman board game. There's a guy that makes board games, makes them on Kickstarter, and he found some success. He made a Sonic the Hedgehog board game that I have. Me and my kids just played it for the first time. It's okay. I got it for free at like a junk store, and I just took it to have the little Sonic character figurines. But it's made by that guy. And originally there was going to be an official Bomberman board game. Lost the Bomberman license, and then he independently published it as Blast Tactics, which I think you can still get for like $60-$70. And then a month or two ago, he was going to do an updated version of Blast Tactics on Kickstarter and make like little plastic figurines instead of little cardboard figurines. And on like day one of the Kickstarter, there just wasn't enough steam behind it, and he like spazzed out and pulled it. And I was very discouraged, and it's like, damn, bro, I was coming here on day 2 because like I needed to wait till I got paid before I threw money at it, and I was going to throw down on it because I was excited about it. Bomberman board game, like, hell yeah. I still might buy that initial version that's got the little cardboard player tokens. So most of the last half of 2024, I had to deal with a family crisis, which seems to be the theme of middle-agedness. Is just it's one unending nightmare after another. It never fucking stops. And so my mom had some sort of medical issue. She had like an infection, and it was like starting to go septic, and she was all like zonked out. And then call 911, right? Don't call your dumb family members. Call 911 and have a ditch doctor come rescue you. So she calls me. I was like, I just need you to come out here. So I get out there, like a half an hour later. She lives half an hour away. It's like, I need you to call 911. I'm like, what? Just call 911, all right? A lot of you may know, briefly, for a while, I worked as a 911 dispatcher. Here's everything you need to know from a dispatcher's perspective. Answer the questions you're asking instead of arguing. They're doing it for a reason. They're relaying that information to the ditch doctors and the officers and deputies. How disrespectful. The medics. I just like saying ditch doctor. They need that information. They're relaying it. It's going to help them to be checking on that info as they're arriving to your destination. Always know where you're at. Be able to tell them an address. The most important thing is an address. If they don't know where you're at, they cannot send people to you. The quality of location information you get on a phone, it's not that accurate. If you got a piece of shit phone, if they only get a phase 1, I don't remember, Max. I think it's phase 2 is the first level of location. That just tells you what cell phone tower the call's coming from, and that it could be anywhere in the city. It's useless. And then if you get the next phase, it's not perfect. So the first responders may not necessarily want to gamble on kicking in the wrong door to come get you, right? If your phone's pinging like a few feet off and they think it's your neighbor. So just be able to give an address, okay? And then if you do need to call 911 on the highway. This is something I figured out. Give a mile marker. Pay attention to mile markers. That's incredibly helpful for tracking you down. But anyway, I get there half an hour later. My mom's like, oh, call 911 for him. It's like, oh, okay. And then, we get her to the hospital. She was in the hospital for a week recovering from that. And at her advanced elderly age, she became immobile and was not able to live independently anymore. So then began the saga of getting her into this nursing home and then getting her into the good nursing home down the street from me. It's like the second best in the country or whatever, the best in the state is what they say. It's actually a nice facility, but I had to get her there. And then that began the saga of me single-handedly dismantling my childhood home that I lived in for 30 years. That was a fun process, digging through 50 years of hoard. And my brother lives in North Carolina now, so it was me. I did that. I had to get the dumpster, and I mean, my wife helped a lot. She did a tremendous amount to help me, like calling the dumpster company and getting that sent out for me. But physically, I did all the work, throwing all the shit away, going through everything, keeping what needed kept. So on the other side of the unfinished side of the basement, I got like 3 or 4 totes that I'm going to give to my brother at some point, stuff of my dad's that he wanted. And man, that took months cleaning that house out. And it was just heartbreaking every day. I'd have to wait till my kid was in, my son was in preschool at the time. So it's like 3 days a week for 2.5 hours. I had some like unhindered, I can work on it in the evenings, pass the kids off to my woman and then go out there and deal with it. So that was just like a 4 to 6 month long nightmare process. Anyway, out of that, at one point during this process, I thought, I wonder if there's a GeoCities clone. Because I had in high school, I've always had a website. Sometimes I'm more active on them than others. Mondo Cool Cast and MondoCoolTV.com have been kind of dormant for the last 5 years, but they're still up. I still pay for the domain. For those that might remember and want to go look to see, check it out. But I was like, what if there's any like GeoCities clones, internet nostalgia? Isn't that a thing, like a wild thing to have nostalgia for? The internet, it's like such a futuristic thing, but I have nostalgia for it now. And there is, and it's called NeoCities, neocities.org. So my stress relief, keep my hands busy, keep my mind occupied, stay focused and moving forward project was making a NeoCities page. And that's when I set up, like I kind of knew about Dex, but I never used it. And then I bought like a $50-$60 portable monitor. It's like 16 inches. A $20 adapter that just, you plug your phone in, a power source, HDMI cable, little dongle for the wireless mouse and keyboard, and I can cram it all into my cubicle, and it's functional. I use ChatGPT to do a lot of the heavy lifting for building the website, like, hey, can you make an HTML framework, and then I filled everything out, and I host the images on a free image host like I did back in the day, like the entire website. And like the 7 other websites that I've made just for my own personal uses and experimenting and like test pages, less than 2 kilobytes. It's lean and mean. It's the way I made websites in 1999. And it's been a fun project. So you can go check that out. Let's see. You can go check that out. NeoCities. What is it called? Jerry's Cool Page. Let me make sure. Yeah, Jerry's Cool Page. .neocities.org. The very first thing I put on here is a spinning skull gif. Got polls, what I'm playing. I'm currently playing Dragon Quest VII on the 3DS. I thought I was at the end of it and that I'd be beating it any day now, but I've so far logged like another 15 hours. I'm over 100 hours into this game. It just keeps going, which is good. If you like Dragon Quest, it's a lot of it. But good lord, what a long game. One of the coolest things I did, and this is just to keep my head busy, and not like get mental and depressed and spiral as I was dismantling my entire life. That's where this website came from. So my favorite features, the movie log and reviews. Every time I watch a movie, I make a note in my phone, and then I write up a little mini review. This is the best part of the website. It's always updated. The last time was on the 17th. It's the 20th now. I haven't watched any movies since then. But it originally started at the... I think this is when I had the... I watched a couple things at home first on the movie log. But this all, came to me as I was working on the dismantling of my childhood home. Like The Evil Dead 2, I watched it on VHS. My dad's VCR DVD combo works great. So I plugged that into the living room TV, and I would just throw tapes in and watch them. Evil Dead 2, I watched there. The Evil Dead, Puppet Master. What else did I watch? Moontrap. Watched that on VHS. I've mentioned that, on the podcast and stuff before as a demo copy that they sent out to rental chains to see if, try to sell you on ordering a few copies. My dad knew a guy in the 80s, so like every 10 minutes a watermark would pop up like, not for retail. So it was cool getting to watch that VHS again. But every movie I've watched since then has been logged. Microwave Massacre is a real piece of shit. I made some GIFs for the website. Yeah, that's Alicia Silverstone getting blasted by the Dread Pirate Roberts right in the fucking face and flying like 10 feet off of a carousel. This lady got a face full of bees. What was this movie called? The Crush. Check that one out. So some of these are like pretty funny, well-written reviews. Some of them are not. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. Never seen it before. Amazing movie. Look at this. You got Leatherface and Drag, like, holding his chainsaw like a big sissy. This movie is over the top. 10 out of 10. Do recommend. Killjoy. There's a series of 5 of these films. Save your time. Read the review, but save your time. I haven't watched the other 4. Maybe they get better. It's one of the worst movies I've seen on Tubi. Tubi's the real hero. Tubi's the best, man.
You ain't taking me nowhere, you honky bitch.
That was the best scene in that movie. So anyway, check out the movie page. But one of the coolest things I did was the High Score Club. Not only ran it 1 month, but I started reading about caravan shooters. So Hudson Soft, Bomberman guys, they would load up a van with TVs and Famicoms and have kids compete for high scores on shooting games. And so this is another one of those things, and I managed to run it. Got a couple people to participate, have a high score board. You just send in a picture of your score, and you get added to the leaderboard. And Kaiju Trinitron, he's the real hero because he came through and put up an amazing score with no turbo. I think I only just managed to get lucky, and I was using turbo. So this son of a gun basically put up the same score, is not far off from me. I was looking on the internet for tips for how to score in the caravan mode. Starship Hector has a built-in 2-minute high score mode. Also, there's a competing high score challenge from a different developer whose name I forget, but download the NES ROM for Recca, R-E-C-C-A. Recca, it is an awesome shooter. I believe it was the genesis of the Bullet Hell game, but it's got a phenomenal soundtrack, and it's got a similar 2 and 5 minute mode. Here are the games I've been playing recently. Also, come by the website and sign my guest book, man. Guest books, remember those? Those are awesome. Games I have played since the last time we've gotten together. Double Dragon Gaiden. Got that for $20 on the Switch off of Amazon. My daughter was playing a lot of River City Girls 2. It had the Double Dragons and Marion. She likes those characters. Like, well, let's get this. It's a 4-player game. Very cool. I liked Double Dragon Gaiden. It's they say it has roguelite elements, so you can play the 4 or 5 stages in any order, but if you play a stage later, it's longer. So it's worth multiple replays so that you can switch out which ones you start with and which ones you play later in the game, and the different boss fights you get and mini bosses. You rack up money and you use that money to unlock new characters. So it's got like a bunch of new characters. A couple months ago, they updated a free update, 2 more new characters. It's got a player versus player like fighting game mode for all the characters you've unlocked. For the price, if it's still $20 on Amazon, grab it. I loved it. Get it on Steam, wherever. I'm sure it's on everything. I played it on Switch because I can, easily take that upstairs, take it to work. Played the absolute heck out of that one. Double Dragon Gaiden, check it out. River City Girls, started that with my daughter a few months ago, maybe last year even. She loves it. She loves leveling up the characters, learning new moves, buying new moves. It's like her favorite game, and all 4 of us can play. It's usually just me and my 2 kids, but sometimes I get my woman to play with us. A surprise hit from last summer, Natsuman 20th Century Kid. It's like one of those comfy games. It's basically 10-year-old child summer simulator from the late 90s. It's got a beautiful... I got a review of it on the website. I thought I would do more video game reviews than I have. I got a few up here, like I did one for Starship Hector, did one for Rescue the Embassy Mission. This was like, look at that, a $5 game. It's awesome. Like, it's got 3 different modes, and each of them are great. There's like a sneaking mission. You got to sneak your guys into the building, and you it's 2D Metal Gear Solid before Metal Gear, man. I think it's got better sneaking than the original Metal Gear. You got to avoid the spotlights. You can jump over fences. You can do a little gorilla roll. And you got to stealth your guys in. And then it goes to a sniping segment where you take out a bunch of terrorists. And then there's first-person mode. So there's like varying levels of difficulty. And there's a practice mode, which is a lot more generous. You got to get all of your snipers into position, and you can like snipe from different angles or different sides of the building, and you want to snipe as many guys as you can for your like breach team, like the guy that actually goes in first person mode. It's very cool. Can't believe I've never heard of it before. Starship Hector is fucking hard, but I did get a lot of enjoyment out of the 2-minute caravan mode. But Natsuman 20th Century Kid, you start every day with like a family breakfast. You end every day with a family dinner. You fish, you catch bugs. You try to help out, like you're staying with your extended family for the summer, and they like run a circus. And you're out in the countryside. You climb, you explore, you interact with people, and they have like daily schedules. Every day after breakfast, you can do. In Japan, they have those radio broadcast workouts, so you can do the like group exercise every morning. I loved this game. It was pretty good. I went to the Rich People Library, and they have PS4 and Switch games you can check out for free. I was interested in Ninja Jajamaru, the Great Yokai Battle plus Hell Deluxe Edition. Played the heck out of it from the library. My son loved it. He loved the 2-player mode. I made these GIFs for my website. I was having a lot of fun with the website. And then I ended up buying it for like $20. That was get it. It's got ports of the original Ninja Jajamaru Famicom games. I think there's like a Game Boy game on there too. And then digitally I bought the Ninja Jajamaru RPGs. There's 2 RPGs based on this character that I haven't played yet, but they look pretty fun. Another game I played was Sheeran the Wanderer 6, The Mystery Dungeon of Serpent Coil Island. My daughter also enjoyed this. This is a rogue style game. Lots of fun. Highly recommended. And she enjoyed that. And then I bought the Switch version of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX, I want to say. Because it's the same gameplay, but it's a little bit easier and it's got cute Pokemons. My daughter also really enjoyed that. And it looks like a beautiful watercolor painting, but you're like playing the rogue style dungeon crawl. So she's had a lot of fun with that. Fantasy Life 2, Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time or something. That was this summer's big hit. My kids started it. They weren't in love with it. I had a good time playing it and enjoyed the online components and like helping level up some of the jobs I didn't really like. So I believe this is it a level 5 game? I think it is. It's got some similarities to Dragon Quest IX. So I enjoyed it. The Dragon Quest III remake for the Switch, that's another. I love Dragon Quest. If I talked about just the games I played, it'd be 90% Dragon Quest. Like the last 3 episodes of Mondo Cool Cast, because that's they're long, involved games, so I have to chip away at them, and it takes forever. And it's like where most of my video game time is spent. But I love it. I just fucking love Dragon Quest. I think since the last time we spoke, Freddie, I sent him Dragon Quest 1 and 2 on the Game Boy Color, and he's gotten into Dragon Quest, which I believe he's intimated that's not something he would have checked out if he didn't hear me gabbing about it all the time. So I'm out here doing the Lord's work, spreading the message of Dragon Quest. The thing I'm playing now, you can see on the website, is currently Dragon Quest VII. I want to finish that up so I can be done with it. And then for the mainline series, the only things I have left to do is 4, 5, and 6. I'm most hyped up about Dragon Quest 4. Way back in the day when I first got my EverDrive for the Nintendo, the first thing I tried out was Dragon Quest 4, where you play the first act as Ragnar, and then you meet a heel slime named Healy. It's very adorable. And you go on an adventure, you save some kids that are getting kidnapped into a mysterious tower, and Healy's like your little heel slime buddy that keeps your health all topped up during that act. And it's like, hey, this is awesome. I can't wait to play this. Most people say 5's the best, so I've been saving 4, 5, and 6 for last. I kind of played the series from the outside in. Like 9, then 1, then 8, then 2. Like, I've played it in the most retarded order you probably could play it, but it's everything out of my old show notes that I started a few weeks ago. We've talked about these things. Go check out your rich people library. There's got to be a suburb or a neighborhood where the rich people hang out. There's 2 rich people libraries. There's one on the up north suburb neighboring us and one on the nice suburb to the south of us. And the other one, the one that doesn't have the video games, you can like check out a pressure washer for free. That's crazy. Like telescopes, GoPros, like podcast kits. There's like so much crap you can get from the rich people library. I've only ever messed with the video games because you can just go browse, and they had good stuff too. Like they have Dragon Quest Builders. Like who's the librarian that got Ninja Jaja Maru? I want to know who's making these choices, or if the little rich kids send in specific requests. But check out your libraries, man. I got like a collection of library cards now. It's a great rainy day thing to do with kids. You just take them there, and they scream and throw books at each other, and they have like scavenger hunts, and you get little prizes. Like, I don't know, man. And then I can like just sort of sit down with my coffee and tune out for a couple of minutes. But it's a great rainy day activity. Now, a few of you did make NeoCities pages. Death Adder and the Gaming Beast came through and made some little web pages because they're awesome. Let's see. Here's the Gaming Beast's Lair. It looks very, very much like a website of the time. Hasn't really been messed with too much, but an attempt was made, so I like that. And then let's see, let's go to the second best website on the internet, deathadder.com, deathadder.neocities.org. A collection of some very fine gifts, some of the best stuff that you're going to see on the internet. And that's what I'd like to see you guys doing, because once upon a time we weren't digital serfs operating within the constraints of what Mark Zuckerberg thinks we should be talking about, right? We used to be webmasters, right? We were webmasters, and now we're digital serfs. So make a website, guys. I do need to stay on my guest book page because we're going to jump into some comments, and then I think I'm going to call it a day. Maybe I'll try to make some longer episodes coming up. But Anonymous says, saw this article. It concerns the Italian government. Italy is a Western, but also European, where freedoms are being eroded. Yeah, man, the pitiful state of Europe. I try not to mix my video games with politics, but man, not a good time to be a Euro friend. Later in the comments, an interesting thought bubbled up about companies using AI to seek and destroy ROM and ISO sites. What are your thoughts? Yeah, some guy in Italy was reviewing like handheld emulator, and he had ROMs on it, and they came and arrested him. They put him in prison. Italian prison for playing like Super Mario Brothers, which I'm sure he's bought legally like 17 times. Shabby, man. Shabby. Let's go through the comments from the last episode. I'm picturing Joe Biden. Wow, how old is this? I'm picturing Joe Biden trying to convince Nintendo to give the suffering Russian citizens their digital copy of Mario Kart 8 back. Joe Biden. Now listen here, Smooth Skins, you better toothpaste right now or else applesauce microwave space wagon. You understand, Smooth Skins? Nintendo. Mr. President, can you please stop sniffing our hair? Joe Biden. You'll rue the day you crossed me, Smooth Skins. Spoon! Yeah, I liked the tick too. Video games. I think I'm pretty much a PC gamer now myself. Yeah, man, there's really... why even have a console at this point? The ability to emulate all of the Golden Era games for free, Steam with its sexy interface, great community features. Right, Steam's great. You're buying digital, but if you wait long enough, everything's like dirt cheap. Goodoldgames.com, where you can actually download the game you just bought, and as you mentioned, the discounts. Imagine paying more than $5 for a game, LOL. Right, $5? It's a pretty decent ticket. Elden Ring and the King of Fighters 15 are modern games that appear to be untouched by the demons of Earth, and I would like those. A swig of orange juice for my Shiranui's Swing Low Sweet Chariots. My daughter has also played a lot of King of Fighters, and she does make fun of jiggle boobs. I also haven't had genuine Jean-Luc Picard to Data style conversation with Mecha Menace in a while either, but at some point, maybe in a YouTube video, he mentioned some old bag he met garage sailing who wanted Mecha Menace to come by and do chores for her. It sounded like she wanted more. Maybe Mecha can elaborate here. Watch it, Mecha. Probably has a 14-inch unit. Isn't that always the way? Data was programmed in several techniques of pleasure, according to Tasha Yar, I believe. We got a song request. Let me open that up. We'll end the show with this. I didn't really have a plan, so we will do that in a minute. Okay. Mecha Menace chimes in. For all that Joe Biden isn't, I'm thankful that he isn't giving into pressure to start World War III yet. Biden or his Otto Pen and whoever was operating it? I'm sure people have thought about it, but what's stopping any nuclear power from duck-stepping into other countries? Call my bluff. I hope the Russians love their children too. Everyone knows nukes are fake. I don't know. I'm at a point where, like, any schizo with a tinfoil hat, like, your track record's better than the official media outlets, so tell me more. I'm signed up for every schizophrenic newsletter I can find. I never know where I should leave comments. There's the YouTube post, Mondo Cool Cast thread, and then the post on the MCC main page. I left them on the main post in the past, so I'll continue doing this. Do you have a preference? Nah, man, I check them all. If I remember. So let me let me check out the YouTube comment section as well. Because I forgot I even upload these on YouTube. This one's going to be a video, so playlist. Do I have a Mondo Cool Cast playlist? I don't even know, man. What's the episode number for this? 126. Let's try just searching Mondo Cool Cast 26. No, I try to check all of the comments, man. So it doesn't matter. But thanks for reminding me, because I would have forgot to check here because I'm so out of the loop. No, just put them wherever, man. I guess the first place I think of to look is the blogger page. At 33 minutes, a lot of these companies are virtue signaling to show that they are doing something. I'm tired of people who expect others to do anything. Those people could request lawmakers advocate their pleas. No, I think everybody should just shut up and stop being lame. Just everybody shut up and mind your own business. How about that? Some of which are probably disingenuous, only made to appeal to their group. No, like, they're noisy. It's a noisy minority that's making the big stink about fucking nothing. It's all BS wrapped up in fakery that doesn't like being held accountable. These people are coddled, giving into or aligning with them ahead of their caterwailing isn't strengthening their prefrontal cortex decision making. They do make entertaining freak out videos, though. Yeah, they're intellectually children who have never been challenged mentally. At 1 hour 22:49 seconds, by the way, you can eject Wii discs without fully powering on the system. Plug it in and press eject, not power. If there's a disc, it ejects, powers off. I'm sure that's a good tip for someone. Those Gusan games looked like fun from the past. I think they spill over in the PS1. Tetris Plus. The one on PS1 is pretty much Bubble Bobble-esque. See, I think that keeps the price down. Blah, blah, blah. What are we talking about? I don't even know what we're talking about. At hour 51, you know, this whole long rant, maybe it's because my response is text rather than speaking, but it wasn't meant to set you off about social engineering. My comments were just about the cycle of the commercialization of technology. I do share all of your thoughts. I would say that when we were growing up, we had some of that sanitization too. Oh yeah, man. We had more censorship in the past when, you know, in the 50s, you had your local newspaper, the national newspaper, and like 5 channels, 4 channels, whatever it was. The schizo weirdos had actual newsletters and like shortwave radio broadcasts, but no, only one side of history was getting out there. And it's interesting looking at some of the crazy people newsletters from those bygone eras and being like, oh yeah, the FBI documents released 50 years later, oh, those conspiracy theorists were correct too. It's crazy, man. I loved watching Looney Tunes, still do. Elmer Fudd shot a gun in the face of Bugs, and all that happened was his face was covered with soot. In the 80s, they replaced bullets with lasers because what kid could get their hands on lasers? We got PSAs in the end credits of Tunes. We got helmet laws. Side note, I thought the helmets were lame as a kid. I believe the studies say that cyclists that wear helmets get into more accidents because they think that like 2 ounces of styrofoam is going to protect their skull from fracturing. it doesn't. It just gives them a false sense of security, and then they cycle like buttholes and make motorists hate them even more. As someone who rides a bike everywhere, you never know when you need them. From falling off to getting hit by 2 tons of metal. Yeah, I mean, like, that styrofoam shit's not going to stop the 18-wheeler from crushing your head like a grape. I'm sorry, man. And plastic capable of driving 88 feet per second. It's an interesting unit of measure. That helmet protects you from your own mistakes as well as those of others. Okay, let's get back to tunes. I think you have to go searching for the right tunes. They still make them, but nah, man, anything new's trash. But you have to find them. Adventure Time's a great series. It is. My kids like it. I haven't found anything. There's a few things in there towards the end that I was not wild about and don't like my kids seeing. But overall, Adventure Time's pretty good. It reminds me of those weird stories and game maps I draw during class. I'm sure you did similar. Man, we should really do a pre-2000s tune list or chart. Death Adder chimes in. What are you talking about? I'm riding with Biden. I love the guy. My friend, best friend, Tyquevius voted for him. Christine Weston Chandler voted for him, and Twitter verified Seth Rogen voted for him. Those are 3 of the smartest people I know. You posted your pre-2000s cartoon list on the forum 4 months ago, and the 5 people there, I was the only one who participated, hence making my list the definitive list, even if you flaked out on it. TLDR, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is the best cartoon ever made. I'm more of a Thundercats guy. I never watched He-Man. For me, as a child, it was, of course, Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Voltron. Absolute peak. Looney Tunes is background fodder at best. I'll take a juiced up guy on a green tiger beating down a skeleton man with a sword over Elmer Fudd any day. True. Except for Foghorn Leghorn. Foghorn would have fit perfectly into the Masters of the Universe cartoon. Some more talking about cartoons. Y'all can come to the website and check this out. British Steel said, I share your frustration regarding woke propagandized entertainment and media these days. My boy is 3, and the wife and I have been selective in his TV YouTube intake. Thankfully, he's a stereotypical boy, so he's into things colored-haired heathens are not likely to ruin yet. Dinosaurs, monster trucks, trains, tractors, heavy machines, and so on. I'm intentionally avoiding gun stuff until I'm ready because they are so taboo in the education system. I don't want him talking about them the wrong way or any other potential mishaps. Right. Loose lips sink ships. And people are so propagandized about that issue. You know, once upon a time we had high school rifle teams. The founding fathers recommended that any boy, once they reach the ripe old age of 10 years old, should be instructed in the proper use of a rifle. And I think that as that tradition has died, our culture has died. Interesting enough, those high schools in the 70s, 80s that were full of rifles, hunting rifles in the back of kids' pickup trucks, rifles that they brought for, target practice. There weren't a lot of school shootings back then. The plus side of that is that he's inherited my engineer brain and is way interested in mechanical things. I love watching my son build stuff. It's interesting, the difference between little boys and little girls and how they think and play. He only wants to watch those kinds of things as well as Blippi. Come on now. Which is really heavy on applied science. That really helps in avoiding the pitfalls of TV trying to groom our kids into you-know-what. I think the guy from Blippi did some really gross stuff. I believe I saw the video on archive.org. Don't want to mention what it was, but it was degenerate and gross. That degeneracy has, of course, infected our already crappy education system, which explains the rise in homeschooling and parochial school enrollment. I'm legitimately afraid of the world our kids are going to live in. Yeah, man, it's pretty scary stuff. Commercial leasing in India. Oh, wow. Imagine spamming the Mondo Cool Cast comment section. Warehouse for rent. Critical failure recently said Gucci Gang 1 million times. And Death Adder, this is actually why this is one of the reasons why this is happening. If a new Mondo Cool Cast doesn't air by the end of 2025, I'm going to live stream cutting my own dick off and eating it on TikTok. Hence completing the ritual of the Dark Juggalo Lords and making me the new owner of the MondoCoolCast.com. Brother, do not turn yourself into a eunuch. Not advised. And then the YouTube comments. Gaming Beast, great episode, broski. Loved the Golden Axe remix you chose as the ending song. It was great. Yeah, we live in dystopian cyberpunk nightmare, and it's lame Mundania version. I moved to Hungary mostly to get away from it. It's here, but not as bad. Runark, aka Growl, is Indiana Jones meets Save My Animals meets drugs. I enjoy it. Maybe one day the Mondo Roundverse. Imagine that, me being lumped in with something and not having been active for like 10 years. Can play the 4-player mode in real time. Wish you and your family the best. Peace. I spoke to Sean not too long ago. Yeah, man, it's shabby what's going on in Europe, but Poland and Hungary seem to have it the most together. So good for them. Demez, finally, been a long time. Also, one more thing about man toys. If you play with the toys, they are toys, but if you just play them only, then they are artwork. Nah, I appreciate man baby toys, but I think I was commenting on the proliferation of separate Walmart and Target toy areas away from the children's toys that are targeted for middle-aged men. It's where they have like the Gundam figures, which I have one over here. I have a Burning Gundam. And then a few months ago I saw a Shining Gundam, which is the enhanced version of Domon Kashu's Gundam. And I think I might be picking that up someday because I do like looking. Burning Gundam and Shining Gundam are two of my favorites, along with the original RX-78, I want to say. I think those are my 3 favorite Gundams. But no, they have like separate sections for like adult men's toys. And I was there with my son looking at some like Killer Clown figures. He's in love with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Never seen the movie, seen a few clips. I played the theme song for him, and he loved it. And then he asked questions about it. And like he's flipping 5 years old and has a Killer Clowns from Outer Space t-shirt. Ain't that something? And anyway, we were looking at some Killer Clowns from Outer Space toys, and then there's like some obviously mentally ill, autistic, purple-haired man looking at the toys. I'm just like, man, I need to distance myself from this shit. Bradley J says, vacuums and videos? Brilliant. Yeah, the original Secret Enemy store was Vax and Videos. They've gone out of business. And then another guy bought the business, moved to the next building over because they tore down. Yeah, my hometown is completely transformed over the past 5 years. They tore down the little strip mall shopping center where the original Vax and Videos was, and built like 17 high-density poor people storage units. You might call them apartments. I just, call them dens of scum and villainy. I'm sure there are many lovely people that live in apartments, but I'm sure that a lot of the people that live in apartments would tend to agree that it's not that cool having thin walls and loud, shitty neighbors. Yeah, so they tore that down, bulldozed some woods that were in the heart of the city, and built I think there's 7 or 8 buildings total in this apartment complex they're putting up. And I liked it cooler when it was a forest, man. I liked it more when it was a forest. Used to cut through there. There's little dugout areas of the forest where you could tell kids would come drink beer and be shitty. But the original Vax and Video is gone. So a new guy bought it, and now it's vacuums and video games. And it used to be the original store was a consignment shop, and that's where I started collecting video games. And eventually their vacuum repair and part sales and video games became just their main bread and butter. So Vax and video games. And They were there for decades, man. But eventually, I guess the owner got too old and sold it off to this guy. And it looks like a better video game store. It's like clean. Its presentation is nice, but it's a totally new operation. It has nothing to do with the people that I disliked. Anyway, my man, what better way to start a 16-hour work shift? Than with a Mondo Cool Cast. Right on, brother. A couple more sporadic comments from Demez. If word gets out that, for example, Nintendo eShop stays open for 20 or 30 years, every system that people also feel more comfortable about buying into the system, I would like to be old and gray and retired and be able to fire up my old eShop and buy an old game. Yeah, absolutely. But they just, I don't know, man. The digital marketplace sucks and it exists to sell you the same shit over and over. I got to send the wife and kids to grandma's house when Bayonetta 3 comes out. Right on. Speaking of man toys, did I ever tell you that I have the new Unicron Transformer? Yes, you did, and it is pretty cool. That came out a year ago, brand new. $750 sold with shipping. Ouch. Freddy, actually, World Heroes 2 Jet does play like a different game than World Heroes 2. Instead of a best out of 3 against one character, it's a best of 3 against 3 for each stage. Also, a different final boss and endings. It's great to listen to the Mondo Cool Cast after so long. Hope to hear more when you get the chance. See, I'm not canceling Netflix, bruh. Tons of great stuff. Honestly, of all the streaming apps, I get a lot of playtime out of Disney and get a lot of time out of Tubi. Tubi's got all the shit I like. Tons of great stuff I want on there, and if you don't have it, you don't know what good stuff you might be missing. I'm personally always mostly watching highly crafted, well-written ScriptX programs. So not the crap like Big Brother or whatever. There are tons of trash video games being produced, that's true, but if you got someone like your old buddy Demez to filter them, that's true. I do still rely on people that I've met through YouTube and podcasting to keep me in the loop about shit I care about, which is awesome. Keep up the good work, guys. Because if people didn't ask me like, hey, have you heard of this or that, I'd be totally out of the loop. Tons of really great games coming out just to have you just have to know where to look and have the time, which, yeah, time's at a premium, dude. Check out Ghost of Tsushima on PS4. Yeah, that's on my radar. I'll probably grab it. Like, I think I've only played like 3 of my PS4 games, man. I got like a stack of games like this. I've only played a few of them. Yakuza Like a Dragon, played the shit out of it. And Dragon Quest XI. There's a horror game me and my woman played through. She just said she'd like to play it again. But yeah, it's amazing. It's neat to 100% to do 100% of the quests and DLC, the collectibles and stuff. Great story, voice acting, awesome, fun combat, and stealth combined. Yeah, man, that's enough for me to add it to the horde. But I'm losing my voice because it's been a long time since I've jabbered on for an hour. It's starting to hurt. Death Adder came in clutch with this surprise song that's going to take us out. So let's go ahead and kick it over to that. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. I enjoyed myself. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments wherever, and hopefully someone will remind me all the places I have to look to get them all again in the future. Maybe I'll do it soon enough that I just remember to check the YouTube and the website. But let's go ahead and have Jason Heine play us out.
Hey, looking so fly, girl, I can't wait. I know you're checking me out below my waist. Nope, I don't wait, I don't hesitate. Not when I got courage for the date. So much going on like karma. Got baby girl saying, who's your mama? I got something for your tushy. Who's your daddy? Come take my hand, girl, let's not play. 11:45 and I just can't wait. I don't think this is Australia, eh? But if it was, you'd be my mate. I'm not waiting, girls I'm taking. Got 'em lined up like a steak I marinate. I got one question for my women. Take my hand, this team is winning. I just wanna be your man, come take my hand. can, baby. Come on. There's nobody else that I love more than you. More than you, more than you. I'm not wishing pole position on any single person that's got a vision. Cause no visions always start the dissing and fibbing, ad-libbing and shit. But who's got the problem? J Money's here helping to solve 'em. Revolving like sea breeze, I'm hopping and tromping with my sick beat, I'm bumping. Hey ma, I wanna be your man. I'll run really fast I can. If that don't impress you, I'll be like, damn. Now I've got to get my groove on. All these clothes right here are loose on. She said her bed is a futon. Now I sing my song. I just wanna be your man. Come take my hand. There's nobody else that I love more than you. I just wanna be your man. Come take my hand. There's nobody else that I love more than you. I just wanna be your man. Come take my hand. There's nobody else that I love more than you. There's nobody I love more than you, girl. I just wanna be your man.